All right, wonderful. Good morning to everybody. Who of you actually slept here at the location, at the Cetatia? Anyone? Anyone? No? We saw a lot of people. I left at 1 a.m. and there was a lot of people back there sleeping already. Alrighty, so let's get serious. The timer is reset. Let's get serious about it. We're here for the Fintersection, precision farming and big data. How Agrotech and FinTech are combining to boost growth and revenue for the companies, for the farmers. And with me, I have very, very seasoned speakers. I have Alina Niculescu with me, who is the head of financing, digital financing at Agrotech. She's got 20 years of experience, and she actually played a pivotal role in developing and launching My Agrotech. And she drives innovation in agricultural finance and enhances financial accessibility for Romanian farmers. You have a 7% market share, you have over 700 million loans issued, and you have 5,000 plus farmers as customers. Then also with me is Ana Maria Diaconescu, so ladies first. She's the managing director of...
Damian, come on.
Ana Maria Damian?
Yeah.
Damian.
Damian. It's such a nice name, you cannot miss it, you know.
Oh. So, Ana Maria Damian, managing director of NHR AgroPartner, classical machinery trader, coming from the classical side, so to say, of agriculture, but you moved with Topcon, a high-precision hardware and software for big data and guidance, correction services, and so on, for digital farm management in the end. You moved into that direction. And then third, we have Martin Skaidels from us. The fun thing is I lived in all the countries where you come from. I lived for 7 years in Romania, for 5 years in Riga. And, and Martins is the head of Lande Romania. So he's a person that has a very proven track record in execution in the Baltics and in Romania, in launching and expanding operations. And Lande itself is a fintech platform for crowdfunding small and mid-sized farmers in the Baltics, Romania, and you're entering Poland right now. So you make sure that investors can invest and diversify, and you make sure that farmers actually get the right financing.
Yeah, this is main idea. What we are doing, we are bringing together investors with farmers directly on the platform. And everyone from Europe can invest starting with 50 euros. And they see the farmers who needs financing. They can see everything, like all data about them, pictures from farm, what will be the interest for them. So it's very, very nice tool to attract funds.
Yeah, wonderful. Let me start with you. Let me go into the topic a bit. We talked about agriculture farming. Now we talk about precision farming. What is the real value of precision farming?
To be quick, I would say it switches totally like agriculture from intuition-based decisions to the data-driven practices. So basically it helps farmers to optimize input use and also increase yields, sometimes up to even to 40%. And also cutting the costs. For example, we had several farmers last year that saved up to 20% on fertilizers and pesticides using GPS, drones, or different sensors. And with them, they apply more precisely those inputs, reduce waste, and also lower fuel consumption. It's like very, very shortly.
Yeah. So you don't provide the drones, you don't provide the GPS and the sensors, but you provide actually the financing.
Financing, yeah. And when clients are searching for something and we see that there is possibility that if they will use this equipment, it can help them, we also try to educate them about this and also bring together with those partners. Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Martins. So we talked about, I said, Fintersections. We started with big data. Ana Maria, when we talk about the big data, you come from the agricultural field. What did the farmers do up to now? Didn't they have big data? What about the data that they had? What was the history?
Do you know about Mesopotamia and the clay tablets? Does anybody know what was written on them? It was agriculture data. So they were always collecting data. Because to be a farmer, you have to work with unpredictability, and you really need to track your experience or your test on the field. So they always had, agriculture was always noting down everything they did, the farmers, they always did that. But now with everything that new technology brought in, we managed to put everything in one place, yeah. And we have a platform from Topcon where with the help of everything that Martin said, precision farming and everything, you can have all the data in one place, and you can know exactly what have you done in a certain plot, if you did it right or wrong, and how to do it next year. Yeah, and this is very important for a farmer.
Yeah, wonderful. We talked about big data, we talked about precision farming. Martin's very short answer, what are the main entry barriers to precision farming? Is it actually the financing?
I would say, first of all, it's high costs for different technologies, equipment, software, and also they need resources for training. For example, for small farms, those investments can take up even years to recover. And second, I will mention quickly, yeah, it's that there's still farmers that are not ready to start use digital tools, and they prefer to work like their parents or grandparents, but there is a lot of companies that educate them. I think also my colleagues doing that, and the situation is getting better. And I can touch maybe a little bit statistics. Yeah?
Let's go on a bit further. I'd say that what big data does right now is it replaces experience partially. But what fintech can do is it replaces the access to finance. Alina, if we come to you, can you give us just a short glimpse into what My Agrotech cover and how you can actually solve the entry barriers into that, into like financing of digital farming?
Well, for sure. My colleagues have previously said about the two-speed agriculture market. I mean, we have at the same time some of the big farms having all kinds of technology implemented, and also the small holders just falling behind. So it's our mission to close the gap and support the financial inclusion with also technological missions. So we're very proud to say that in less than a year, we have started mobile native application, My AgriCover, enabling small farmers to access financing via mobile. We have a user-friendly interface, and we have built it to reliably perform in the rural area where we have so many times slow signal. It's very important to be closing this gap and to bring technology into a hybrid model, like digital and human at the same time.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Martins, if we go back to what you said about the statistics, can you just give us the 3 most important numbers that are out there?
Yeah, by 2020, for example, there was in Romania only around 5% of farms that used at least one precise farming tool, but in 2025 it's already around 25%, so which shows that there is a lot of companies who also educate them, and there is a lot of suppliers who can provide with all the technologies. So I would say it's very strong trend and positive at the moment, and thanks to also AgriCover, for example, application, I think it will still grow and grow. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Alina, you want to top up a bit?
Yes, I would like to speak a little bit about education. And AgriCover, we have a very strong innovation DNA. And so we're bringing technology and innovation to the market. At the same time, I feel it's our responsibility as a big player to educate and to leverage the digital literacy level among farmers, because we are working in a market which is still deeply rooted in tradition. Let's face it, we are working with paper-based processes, lots of them. We are working with informal credit and with so many relation-based decision models. So it's important to smoothly integrate technologies, and in AgriCover, we're doing this by innovating and by creating a program of young leaders. We have so far prepared more than 500 young farmers to come and take over the farms from their parents. So we are just supporting the new generation into taking over the management and as well integrating the new technologies.
Okay, wonderful. So you talk about the young generation. Anna Maria, if we talk about the young generation here, you have a solution which is called TopCon. That's what you bring into the market right now, very successfully. How do you see it? Is there a difference between, let's say call it experienced farmers and the young generation?
Yes, absolutely. So the young generation likes to see data, likes to see reports, likes to create reports and to take decisions based on analysis, scientific analysis, more than the intuition and the tradition and experience. But in the end, we need the experience, because data means experience. Yeah, so we should not ignore that, and we should use every data we have, everything we can collect, it's a base of an analyze. But yes, indeed, young farmers are more likely to adhere to this kind of technology, and they like it very much. Because in the end, and I will be brief on that, in the end you can just be a public, an audience, you know, in the tractor. You're just staying there and see how everything is happening in front of you. It's turning around at the end, it's opening and stopping the spraying systems, because you have the satellites and the maps, and you know exactly where you have to treat a plant. You know, you don't have to treat all the plants. And by this, it's always good to have a healthier crop, you know, and healthy also for us, which in the end we are eating all that.
Yeah. So I also read a bit about it, about your solutions that you have. And you also said that in the end, you see what went wrong in the agriculture, like, or where is a kind of a fungus or whatever in the next village, and how did they treat it? What was a successful way? So that is what big data helps a lot in. Do you see the transition into digital farming, precision farming? Do you see it as a smooth process, as a rough process? And how long do the farmers usually take, the young ones usually take to get into it, to really using the digital solutions?
I think now, first of all, it's a generation switch. It's a critical moment in agriculture, and I think my colleague will agree with me. And I don't think it will be smooth, because it might be quite harsh from one day to the other. So we are prepared for that. We are prepared for the moment in which the farmers will understand exactly what they need to do, what is the next step with the new generation, but also with the old one. And that we are discussing about financing, about investing. Who would you like to invest in? You would like to invest in a farm which takes decisions based on science, on experience, so to cover a little bit the unpredictability of the environment.
So what you actually say is you make the sector investable.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so, yeah.
Alina, you wanted to...
At this point, I'd like to say that technology and using all these digital farming and precision farming and all these integrated management systems, it's not just a nice to have or a hype, it's a must. Because farmers have been sailing into some very stormy waters in the past years, and we mean prices volatility, we are talking about shrinking profit margins, at some points drought, economic and political pressures. So it's highly important for them to stay competitive. And using all of these state-of-the-art precision technology is really important for them, not only to grow and thrive, but just to stay in the market.
Yeah. Can I pass it on to Martins? Martins, you talked before about the yield can go up to 40%. How does that happen? How do such solutions, how does your financing, your access actually that you give to Agrotech, how does it help the farmer to grow more crop?
Basically, first thing is if they use these farm management softwares, they can see big picture what's happening each year. Yeah, so they see where is improvements and where they need more improvements maybe to make this year. I would say, yeah, financing helps them in different ways. And the main goal also for us as like a platform who provides financing for the farmers is these collaborations with all those partners. Because it helps us to make decisions smarter, faster, based on data they can provide. And we work with, there is a lot of examples I can share with, but for example, we are also together made a collaboration with biggest input sellers in Baltics. And through platform, we organize group purchases for inputs for clients, for example. And what it gives, first, we can get better price for them because it's a quantity we provide and we order these inputs in the name of the land. And second thing is also delivery costs is reducing because we are organizing those deliveries in the region where farmers are close to each other. So basically, we can help them to save money and to invest more in the fields maybe which are not performing and stuff. Yeah.
Wonderful, great. Alina, getting back to you, when I read about you and what you do with MyAgricover, I stumbled over the expression embedded finance. What does that actually mean for you in MyAgricover?
Well, that means bringing financial solutions in a very approachable and digital way. I mean, we have developed this mobile-based application. We have actually connected it to our internal risk systems, and we could give real-time scoring and real-time decision-making. At the same time, we have integrated a seamless onboarding process with video, remote video ID and with a document upload. So for client, I mean, and exactly for a farmer who likes to keep things simple and easy to understand, we have managed to bring a process which enables him to access finance in a very simple and clear way. So this would be embedded finance, bringing technology closer to people.
So it's KYF, know your farmer,
Know your farmer,
financer.
yes. I will steal this one, yeah, KYS. We have a KYC model very well embedded in the application, but KYF is something that I'm going to use for now on, yeah. Thank you.
Wonderful. Martins, one thing that actually, I thought about is how do you guarantee equal access to financing? How do you guarantee that this kind of financing that you do, that Anna Maria actually gives access to, Alina actually gives access to, how do you guarantee that it doesn't go into the top 3%, top 5% that are performing well anyway, but it actually helps the whole sector? How do you do that?
What I want to highlight that we concentrate mostly on small and medium-sized farms, and this was goal why we created this platform, because there is a lot of problems that they cannot get funds. There is different reasons, but for example, in Romania, for small and medium-sized farms, usually it's lack of reliable data. And so what we are doing, we are like making financing based on income predictions and single history, not doing so many like standard credit checks. And this allows us to be very flexible and fast. And also financing is happening very smooth because we have already registered 9,000 investors on the platform, and they can easily choose project where to invest.
What's the average amount that they invest?
It depends by the country. Most of the investors are from Germany at the moment, but also Romanians start to register. I would say average ticket is around 300 euros, plus minus could be.
So who's the early tech adopter if you see different markets?
Sorry?
Who's the early tech adopter if you look at the different markets? Who is the market that is spearheading the development?
It's hard to say. Probably Poland could be.
All right. Anna Maria, now back to you. We talk a lot about collaboration here. We talk about collaboration between agriculture and between fintech. How do you shape this collaboration in your case?
I think it's very important, the collaboration between us. And with our platform, for example, we could provide all the data needed for Martins here to take the right decision. Because it's not only important to look at the figures in 1 year, you have to look how a farmer is able to adapt to the big challenges. Agriculture, it's a very challenging sector and very unpredictable, as we discussed already. I met somebody at this event which asked me if AI will be able to, at some point, control the weather. And I really hope, and we have to do that, sooner or later, yeah? But what I wanted to say is that if you have two farmers and one does not have any problem, of course he will be profitable. But if there are pests, if there are, I don't know, it's a drought, it's a hail, and so on, you have to see it. You have to see what was the challenge and how he coped. And you would want to invest in this kind of farmer, the one which is able to solve a situation in an innovative way. And here we are there for you, because with our platform, and it's not so expensive that you cannot afford it, yeah. Of course, all the tools they are, but this is why we are in a financing here sector. We can give all the information about such a farm, and you can see there everything. And then it's not an explanation of a farmer, it's real data.
Yeah. Anna Maria, we've talked about big data, we've talked about everything like that. Don't you think that business also stays a bit psychological? My brother-in-law, he's a big farmer, and he said, 3 weeks ago we had a chat, and he said, I called someone, I said, in 3 weeks I have this order, he's gonna order it, and everything is gonna be gone. If you want it, you have to order right now. And he said, yes, I'll take it all. And he said, I never had an order. I said 20 years ago I would never ever have done that. Now I did it and I had the balls to do it. So what's the reason? What's the role of psychology and what's the role of balls actually in the business? Is it going to stay there or is it going to be replaced completely by data and digital decisions?
I know a lot of farmers, and as we said about education and about everything, data is slowly coming and so on. But in the end, a farmer will like to decide on himself, you know.
So totally agree with you on that. Working with farmers for more than 15 years, technology is just a tool. Of course, we like to use it. We like to have all the data inputs, but finally, it's what you make of it. So practically the expertise, the mindset of the farmer, and the good knowledge is what makes the business.
So the human stays in the center of everything. Alrighty,
Yes.
Martins, could you give us one last idea into new revenue streams? What would be potential new revenue streams that you could actually open up now?
Oh, there's a lot, to be honest. It's still a hot topic about carbon credits. I could mention we are also finalizing this project. So it's all about tracking and verifying these sustainable practices, agricultural. And I think also for fintechs, there is options to boost revenues, to grant access, to help get access for the farmers to this carbon credit markets and also get some revenue from selling them, those carbon credits. And for sure, also integration in different agri-platforms, what we are doing also now, to be very short.
Wonderful. You wanted to top up on that?
I would like just to have like an ending point. There's something that I really want to emphasize. This would be our, if we want to increase adoption in agriculture and use so much digital technologies, I think it's about a few little things. One of them would be creating trust, and creating trust as a collaborative partners all together and focusing on the farm business model and on their needs and bringing up not only technologies, but building together trust as a long-term sustainable process. And I think it's all of our responsibilities, one of us as big players and systemic players in the market, but also the new entries which come and bring competition and value to the market. So it's all of our responsibility.
Yeah. But that's great to hear that the human stays in the center, that we build on trust and everything. I don't know how much Anna Maria sees the timer, but I see the timer, so we're going to get to a closing round right now. And the way I want to close down the panel discussion that we had right now about Fintersections, Agrotech, and FinTech together is I would like to throw something at you and you give me back a glimpse into the future of what you think about. Alina, let me start with you. Integrated digital ecosystems.
Yes, integrated with, let's say, with digital adoption, with support with building trust, and with building a very healthy and client-oriented ecosystem, step by step.
Okay, wonderful. Martins, you're next. I'll give you a bit more right now. Agricultural companies and agri-tech companies often know their clientele personally, whereas the lenders very often are pretty far away in distance to the farmers. How do you think that fintech and agritech can actually help in understanding the financial behavior and risk?
Yeah, you're totally right. These agribusiness companies and agrotech companies often have knows the client personally. So it could help that they could share also this data about client, what's happening in the farm in real-time data collecting. And this is basically just collaboration between different companies, I think, and that we can create ecosystem with data sharing and network where everyone benefits from that.
All right, wonderful. That's the first timer that I see that has a minus and red letters then. So I'm really pushing it now. Anna Maria, very last statement. Can Agritech and the Fintersection to FinTech actually help the food security in the future?
Yes, definitely. So I think everybody is aware that we are more and more and more and more people on the planet, and it's less land left for agriculture purpose only. And I think Martin were already mentioning this, that up to 40% of more crop can be obtained with precision farming. But as a closing round, I think the most important thing is the value of human relation, especially in agriculture. This is the most important thing that a farmer will ever appreciate. So whatever we can bring in, data, technology, we have to stay human and close to them.
All right, wonderful. So I hope that all the audience could take something out of it. You can take something home with you. And I say thank you very much, Anna Maria Damian from NHR Agro Partner, Martin Skydals from Lande Finance, and Alina Niculescu from Agricover. Thank you very much for being here with me.